Morning. Today we're learning about tones and semitones, and we're just going to do one thing, learn about tones and semitones so that you've got a better understanding of it. So tones started off in ancient Greece, that was the first mention of it, and then the 12 tone that we've got on the piano, very obviously on the piano, and every other instrument as well, but piano particularly. The 12 notes was invented by a Chinese sort of philosopher, mathematician, very organised person. So that's, even though it's Western music we're talking about, it actually dates back to the Chinese. So I'm going to teach you on the piano today about tones and semitones, so that when we move on to scales and understanding scales so you can make your own music, then you've got everything at your disposal, because that's all we need to know really. It is very simple. And remember, what I say to all my adults is imagine you're 4. Just take on board the information, don't ask too many whys, work with it, and it'll be easy for you. Okay, so here we go. We're at a little angle today because he's being a little bit affectionate today, as you always are, aren't you, darling? So you're going to learn about tones and semitones too, yeah? So on the piano, as you know, we've got 12 notes, we've got 5 black keys, and we've got 7 white keys, and then it's a repeating pattern all the way up. And also, you may notice there's sets of 2 and 3 black keys, and this is just for what I'm always talking to you about, shape. We always see things by shape, we read music by shape. I mean, there's so many things that we do in life that are all about recognising shapes instantly, like reading words. So, when you're learning about tones and semitones, which you have to do for your chords and scales, a tone is simply 2 semitones. Just think of a globe, and a semicircle and a circle. A tone and a semitone. So this would be a half step or semitone from here to here. And this would be a tone from here to here. Okay, so 2 semitones make a tone. Same as 2 half steps make a step. Okay, you with me so far? And then between E and F, C, D, E, F, that's just a semitone because there's no black key there. So that's just a half step. And between B and C, that's just a half step. So when you do a scale, there's 2 semitones in a major scale, there and there, between notes 3 and 4 and between notes 7 and 8, okay? So in addition to that, you heard me going on yesterday about G having an F sharp. You might think, how do I know what a sharp is? A sharp is a semitone up. So here is D, here is D sharp. So you jump up a semitone. If it's a flat, you fall down flat. So you go down to the left by a semitone. So there's D sharp, and there's D, and there's D flat. Okay? Now, the clever people amongst you will probably have already noticed that D flat is the same note as C sharp. But there's different reasons and different times that we use those that I'm not going to get into today, but just think of words in the English language that are the same but spelt differently or whatever, because there's reasons for them. So D flat is the same as C sharp, E flat is the same as D sharp, and so we can go on up. So what I would like you to do now is pause the video and test yourself anywhere on the piano. Find a G, for example, find a G sharp, and then find a G flat. It's all about getting to know your keyboard geography. Not so much about reading music, not so much about the theory, but theory is only good if you put it into practice. So this will enable you to be able to create your own music. You'll understand if you sight reading a piece of music, if it says a sharp, you'll understand why. Okay, so today, just tones and semitones. Test yourself out anywhere on the piano and have a nice Sunday.